Hello, welcome. It's Mary Lynn Harris of the Creating an Impactful Legacy podcast, and I'm your host. And today I have on the call is Katrina. I'm not even going to pronounce your last name, Katrina, but I like
Sawa. Just like it sounds, just like it looks. Sawa.
yeah. So I'm just going to kind of let you introduce yourself, if you wouldn't mind telling the audience a little bit who you are and how'd you get started doing what you're doing now.
You bet. And we're definitely in alignment today because you have hearts all in the background here. And I have a heart in the background. And I'm all about hearts and love. You should see this wall over here. So I'm Katrina Sawa. I'm a speaker, an author, international bestseller, and I'm a business coach primarily. That's really what I do. Is I really love to help people make more money and find the ways to do that, to make it more of a smooth running money making business machine. So we stop working so hard.
Right.
So I do help them implement systems and ongoing marketing and team and higher end programs and stuff as well. So that way you can really dive in deep with the clients that you're working with. So.
Right. Yeah. And of course, as you know, if you're working with clients at a higher level, it tends to be easier to get clients and also to keep them really embracing who they are and what they're doing. Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people do it really well. Some people don't. I've been around this business for 19 years this August. So I've seen some very good coaches and mentors in this world and some that are just out there for the money. And it is hard to differentiate and decipher that when you're newer to business. So you got to be careful and really feel in with your gut and and your intuition,
Yeah. I think you're either in it to really help people or you're really in it just because, I can be a coach and make lots of money.
Yeah, or I can do an online course and just sell an online course over and over and over again. And just who cares if it's really the thing that's, making an impact on people or not. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great stuff out there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So do you like working with groups of people or just more one-on-one?
I like both because most of the people I work with, I would say 60% are new in business in the first couple of years.
Right.
I love to catch people right away, early on, before they make a bunch of mistakes or waste time and money in the wrong places, so I can help them find the right thing. But I also work with a lot of seasoned business owners who are really making good money and doing well, but they don't have time for vacation. They don't have self-care time, and they haven't figured out how to really leverage their time and their systems more because they just kind of got rolling, which is great. But then you got to stop and you got to reimagine the wheel of the cog of the business and do something about that. Yeah.
Right. And so what do you think some of the biggest challenges are that you find that your clients face or that you like to work with?
Right. Well, most entrepreneurs, the biggest challenge they have is seeing what is the most critical thing to focus on to start getting the cash register to ring, right? They just don't see what they need to do, the doing part, every day to get a consistent amount of leads coming in. There's too much noise out there saying, run Facebook ads or go on Clubhouse or do this or blog or whatever. And they can't make a decision on the top things, the right things that are going to really move the needle. So that's one of the biggest mistakes I see, or they just don't know what they don't know. It's not a mistake. It's just they don't know what they don't know. And it's frustrating. I know because I was there. That's probably one of the biggest things. Another mistake is definitely not reaching out for help before you maybe think you can afford it. And I'm talking about virtual assistants or web design or techie services or things that you don't know enough about.
Right.
You can't just spend 14 hours trying to figure something out when you can hire someone to do something for 30 minutes for $30. That's just silly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's embracing that and letting go of control and really embracing getting support.
Yeah. I think one of the most recent things that I've discovered about myself is that I'm really addicted to social media. And it's just like, okay, this isn't working for me and it hasn't worked for me for a long time. So what am I going to do about it? Right. And so the key thing is just staying focused. Like I said in a
Well,
preamble before stop it.
that's what I tell people. And I have these little buttons. Listen, stop it.
Yeah.
I have to tell people stop it all the time because they're wasting time in the wrong places, or they're not doing the thing that's going to move the needle, right? You can spend a lot of time on social media and be very effective and get lots of clients, or you can waste time and not be seeing the results.
Yeah.
And you just may not know how to tweak it. That's all.
Yeah.
It could be a simple tweak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's amazing though, because I look at my clock and it's 10:30 and I'm going, okay, I'll give myself a half an hour, and before you know it, 2 hours has gone by, right? So like you were saying, you need to stop it, or you need a timer, or bing, 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 bing.
You should, yes. Now, if you're going to make, so like I talk about business marketing strategies, right? So there's speaking is a marketing strategy, like speak in front of groups, speak on podcasts and radio shows. You can host your own events to speak. There's networking where you go and attend things, and usually you can say your 1-minute commercial, and then hopefully people are interested in talking to you, right? Yeah. And then there's social media. Social media is a whole nother ball game. Now you don't necessarily, excuse me, have to do all of that. Yeah. I realized last year, like I've been doing both for so long, and my social media had been lacking, right? Yeah. I don't want to spend the time that I'm going to need to spend to nurture the communities and the groups and the people on social media that it's going to be required to make a lot of money from that strategy. I would rather do speaking and networking, frankly, and follow up. And so pick is what I'm saying to people now. Pick your route. If you want to be social media, less speaking, networking, great. Then you're going to want to spend 3 to 4 hours a day on social media. Trust me, but you got to do the right things. Right. Or you can pick to just do the bare minimums and show up there so that you're not invisible, and do the other things instead. Honestly, in this day that you kind of almost have to pick. Right.
Yeah, I remember many years ago when, social media was just coming up, and I was coaching businesses at the time, and oh, well, Marilyn, and I'm out trying all of them and telling them, okay, you don't need that. You don't need that. If you're that, you can do that, and that type of thing. And then it was, it's kind of interesting because back then it was like, pick 6 and run with it.
6.
And at that time we had lots of time, because we were all developing our businesses, picking 6 and doing whatever. And over time, I think the biggest thing now is like, who has time to do 6?
No, no, I barely have time to focus on one, which my choice is always Facebook, because it's just where it's easier and convenient.
Right.
It's either Facebook or LinkedIn. I mean, Clubhouse is here too. And for those who have iPhones, I don't.
Yeah.
If you're running the show and running the groups and really being the influencer, then you can probably pull a lot of clients off of it. But if you're just a follower, you can't be a follower on social media. You have to be a leader. If you're going to be on and use it as a strategy, you have to be a leader and an influencer and a community leader, right? Otherwise, if you're just a follower, you're not going to see as many results.
Right. And, we're just talking about social media right now, but I have Clubhouse, and I think I look at it, went, next. I don't have time for the, because it's just, even as a person who's leading certain things, I don't have time to be over there leading that too. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people seem to think that they get a lot of business from it. If you do, great. I bless you. And, but we all have to pick our avenues or platforms that work for us, right?
Yes, you do. And you cannot do an amazing job on Clubhouse and an amazing job on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube. I mean, come on. Yeah. There's just not enough time in the day.
Yeah. So what do you think? So we talked about some of the challenges that people that you like to work with, or new businesses that start up. Who's really doing the new startups now? Are the people that have lost their jobs from COVID, or who are they that you're running into?
Yeah, I just talked to an attorney actually the other day, and he'd been inquiring about being an author in one of my books. And I said, hey, were you interested in being an author? I called him up because that's what you got to do. You just got to disrupt people. You can't just email them, because emails fall in spam or trash. I said, you were interested. I sent you an email. Maybe it's in your spam or trash is what I said, right?
Yeah.
I said, how's it going? What are you doing since COVID? And da, da, da. He said he shut his business down completely and has literally not worked since last March. And I'm like, oh my God, you didn't think about how to do things differently. And da, da, da. He's like, yeah, I tried Facebook ads and I tried this and nothing worked. And I stopped. I just stopped working. He had some savings. So I'm living on my savings. I'm like, oh my God, like had I caught you like a year ago, I probably could have given you 2 or 3 things that could easily have made money. As an attorney, as a state attorney, you can still do business on Zoom. Oh my God, somebody just didn't show you correctly or exactly what you could do. So I was just breaking my heart to hear that story that he went without income for over a year. Mm-hmm. And yes, I think a lot of people who got just let go in COVID. Some of them bounced back pretty quickly to start something or look at something. Others were just destitute for months, and they're just now getting out of that, thinking, well, now what am I going to do? Well, I don't know, but you should have thought of it like 6-8 months ago, for God's sakes, right? Don't let yourself sit in a funk. So I don't want to hear that kind of story. I want to help people before, but I think all kinds of people are realizing too that it's like, oh crap, the government can shut down businesses. Maybe I should be in control of my own destiny and have my own business. And I think there's a lot of those people too who are maybe still working. There's a lot of people that got, stay-at-home jobs, or they went from the office to the home office. And they've been working at home now, and they're starting a side hustle, right? And now they're like, oh, maybe I should do this instead of that. And it's all over the board. I think there's so much opportunity though.
Right. And so who are your favorite clients of the people that you like to work with?
Anybody that is just motivated to really do the business that they love and make good money at it and stop working like ridiculous hours, 12 to 16 hours a day. That's just ridiculous. Right. We need to have a life. We need to have plenty of money, not just to pay our bills, but we need more money to fund our retirement. Although I don't like the word retirement as an entrepreneur. I don't believe in retirement. I don't believe in retirement. I believe in the evolution of my business. So I'm 51 now. In my 60s, maybe I'll change it into something different. I don't know. But the good thing is we can change our business anytime. We can change what we're offering, what we're selling, how we're doing the business. And so I'm just going to keep evolving it until I just feel like not talking to anybody anymore, which I can't imagine when that is. My husband's an entrepreneur too. So, but we have to save. Like, what if we live until we're 100 years old or 95, right? I've got 48 years to go until I don't know, so we need a lot of money is my point. And most people are not focused on the fact that they're going to need a lot of money to live and sustain themselves and pay for healthcare and other needs and things that may happen. You have to plan for the what if. So you have to wrap your head around the fact that you're going to need to make a lot more money right now to fund later, right? Because what if something happens and you can't work, then you're screwed, right? So focus on making money now, and of course, making a difference and helping lots of people, but make a lot of money, do the right thing with it, invest it, whatnot. So you have that security, because you have to have that. And so many people are not focused on that. And it's just horrible.
It pains you.
It does. I just want to, I wish I could reach more people. I wish this call would reach millions of people, because they'd be, they need to wake up and say, oh yeah.
So what do you think people are waiting for?
I don't know. Right. I'm guilty myself. I didn't start saving like that, like I'm talking about, and investing until just a couple of years ago. I've been in business for 19 years. I just kept taking the money that I would make and putting it back in the business and hiring another coach, and all of that is great. But at some point you have to stop. You have to siphon some over here. Right. And just last year, for example, I made more money than I've made at any year so far, even during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I had saved a lot. I had saved so much money. I was able to buy a travel trailer so we could actually get out of the house, right?
Yeah.
In cash,
Yeah.
and save some and pay my taxes now, which are much more because I made more. So
Right.
my taxes is a pretty high tax bill. So, but I had money in savings. I didn't stress about it like I
Right.
had in the past.
Right.
So you got to set yourself up for success and you got to do it now. You can't wait because
Right.
what if could happen? Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. So what do you think you'd like to tell people? What is your message today to people that you want people to know about?
Everything we just said, honestly, like stop waiting for someday. There is no someday on the calendar. Do it now, make good money now. Stop thinking you're not worth a high-end dollar figure for clients to pay you, and just get over yourself and let's move. Let's move and make some money and build the business of your dreams and the life of your dreams, helping a ton of people and elevate you to that influencer status, because where else are you going to go? If you don't want to do that and you don't want to do what it's going to take to get there, then please go get a job that will pay you wealthy, pay you enough and put you in retirement, because entrepreneurship just might not be cut out for you.
Right.
There's a lot involved with entrepreneurship. You got to do marketing and selling. Those are the two most critical activities that entrepreneurs need to master, not just kind of do okay.
Yeah.
You got to master those skills or you're getting nowhere fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
I'm a little blunt and to your face. I know, I get it, but people need that wake up call.
Yeah.
They do. They need a realistic, this is what the truth. This is truth. This is not just fluff. This is truth, you guys.
Right. Right. Okay. And so what do you suggest for people like yourself who are coaches or business coaches, or like you were saying, I know that your number one job is marketing and sales and follow up, right? So with all that being, I know it's a really general question, but what would you suggest, or what tips would you suggest that they do to get those results that you talk about?
Well, most people are not making the money that they want to make because they're just not talking to enough people or in front of enough people every month. Okay. That's the number one thing I see. They're talking to a few dozen people. They might be on calls or a few podcasts here and there, or maybe 1 or 2 speaking gigs a month, and they're in front of a couple dozen.
Right.
There could be a couple hundred or even 1,000 downloads, but a lot of things don't bring the paying clients, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to just do more. And in order to do more in the front lead generation arena, you have to have systems for the people coming in the door. Right. So you have to use your website as the hub of your business and and send people to certain pages so they'll opt in for things and get on your list. And then you have to send emails to the list to say, hey, do you know I'm doing this now? Hey, I want to invite you to this call. Or, hey, I have this free thing for you. Or, hey, come and take advantage of this. You have to talk to people and nurture them. And too many people are scared of doing too much stuff and actually being too pesky or whatever. And you can't be afraid of that. You have to just tell people, you have to really connect with people more than ever and engage with them, because they have so many places to listen and check in on that you're just like one of probably 20 inboxes and things that they have to listen to. Right. And you're probably getting listened to less and less. Mm-hmm. So in the follow-up, I've been a master of follow-up for years, even before my business, when I was in my jobs. I was really good. And it's email, it's phone, right? I said I called the guy the other day. I reach out and call. It's direct mail. You have to send stuff in the mail. You have to get their mailing addresses and send stuff to people. Mm-hmm. Give away books on your show, give away books on your speaking. So people have to give you their mailing address, get the mailing addresses, right? And then send the mail. Yeah, you could do text message and you can do private message on Facebook. You have to get in front of a lot of people in a lot of different places now than you ever did. So there's more work to be done, but it can be automated, delegated, or systematized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so what do you do for that system eyes? Do you hire a VA to do that, or how do you, what do you suggest
Yeah.
to do?
Well, almost everybody really needs some sort of an assistant,
Right.
right? So it depends on what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. Then we hire the right assistant for you, or the multiple
Mhm.
assistants. I have 3 different assistants, and then I have a couple other people I use for different projects for books and things like that. But they all do different things, or they all focus on different things. So you don't just hire one assistant and then say, okay, I'm done. And then that person can do everything. That's not very realistic, right? Even VAs have their favorite things they like to do. Yes, you need to have an assistant at some point, perhaps, doing a
Mhm.
lot of different things. And you can grow it gradually in phases, and hire people in phases. You also really just you need to use your website as the hub.
Right.
Most people's websites barely have an opt-in box or a click now or a sign up for a call with me. Most websites barely have that.
Right.
Okay. And that's not engaging enough or interactive enough. And I'll tell you, the majority of websites I look at don't even have video of the person whose website it is. You
Yeah.
need to have video on your website, because that's how people will connect with you. So
Right.
it's getting in front of more people. It's making it easier for them to learn from you and hear you and feel you and get energized by you, and
Mhm.
then have options for them to take next steps with you. There's so much involved with that, but
Yeah.
it can be simple, is what I'm saying, if
Yeah.
you work with someone who can show you how to do and put the right pieces in the puzzle.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because it is, it's like we all have different avenues and different directions we want to go, but how do you package it so that it's, everything comes together? And how do you do all that? I just finished doing 2 videos, one for a summit I'm doing, and one for the conference I'm doing. I'm always doing the kindness conferences. So I thought, why do I have everybody else's video up there? Why not mine?
Yeah,
Welcome,
right.
nice
That
to meet you,
happens.
kind of thing. But like you were saying, that people, when we're doing even our podcasts or conversations, it's an opportunity for people to explore who you are and what you're about, and from there, then they say, hey, I want more of that, or I don't want that anymore, whatever. But it becomes a clear channel, clear channel.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add, Katrina, to our call today that we haven't discussed that you would like to?
I could talk for days. Are you kidding me? I hold 3-day events, and there's still not enough to teach people what I need to know. No, I mean, just you have to get started somewhere. You have to learn what the order of importance is for you. So
Mhm.
if you're a massage therapist, you might have a different order of importance of things that are going to get you clients right now than if you're a publicity expert, or if you're an author of children's books, or there's different things and different marketing strategies and also different business models
Right.
that you'll be available to do. Now, one thing I recommend, I would warn you, is listening to people who only funnel you into one thing.
Right.
So if somebody's saying you have to do this and this is all you need to do to make 6 figures or $1 million or whatever, I would run, not walk from that person, because I don't think that's a realistic plan, especially if someone is new in their business. You should
Mhm.
explore a few different opportunities to sell your stuff and or to market yourself until you find the ones that work for you.
Right.
Be careful listening to people who have the one strategy to get leads and the one business model to sell your stuff. Because if you're an advanced business owner, that might be okay, because what I do now, being in business for so long, is I'll do a deep dive with someone and
Yeah.
say, okay, I really want to know how to really grow memberships and master memberships. Okay,
Right.
great. Then I'm gonna hire the guy who's an expert in memberships, right?
Yeah.
And I know who that is, and I was working with him for the last year, right?
Right.
So, but that's not something you should do right off the bat. Usually
Right.
most memberships are under a couple $100, and you should never just focus on low end dollars if you want to make 6 figures.
Right.
That's just that. Like,
Right.
you're not going to get there anywhere fast if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of people to talk to.
Right.
So there's just that order of importance, and it's just hard to figure out yourself. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there any particular type of client you like to work with? I know you already said many times people that are just starting out, but is there a vertical or anything? Or is it
No,
just
I'm kind of a broad coach. I come from the
okay?
advertising world, so I used to sell advertising in the local newspaper, and
Okay,
so in Northern California here, and so I'd walk around, knock on doors of
yeah,
businesses, and I mean, I had eye doctors and shop auto repair shops and realtors, and it was all different kinds of businesses. Now I have a lot of the online stuff too, the online entrepreneurs and the coaches and the authors. I love a variety because what happens is one of my ideas for my flooring company, I might be able to bring to my massage therapist or
right,
my, coach. And so one of my coaching ideas, I might be able to bring to the salon and spa. And so
right,
I think it gives more variety of ideas for my clients. So no,
right.
I don't have an industry that I work with.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It
No,
keeps
that's really
my
being very
keeps my head
open-minded.
jumping.
No,
Yeah.
it's being very open-minded and very resourceful is
Yeah.
what
Oh, I've got
coaching.
resources out the wazoo. So please come and talk to me if you are doing a book or starting to speak, or I have a speaker network that I run. It's completely free. You can join the International Speaker Network. Um, if you're a speaker or want to be, it's a great place to
Mhm.
come. I have a whole bunch of online trainings. If you're a business owner and you want to learn about any of those, anything that's going to grow your business, I have a lot of free trainings and a lot of low price stuff like 27 bucks, a couple
Yeah,
$100. I
yeah,
mean, every price point you can imagine, I have something for someone. So
right, right. Great.
yeah.
Well, your wealth of information, Katrina, and wealth of talent. And I so appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing your expertise. I'm sure that there'll be many people that are going to be able to reach out to you and say, hey, help. So
Well, you're very
thank
welcome.
you so much.
And it's great to be here impactful legacy. That's such a great topic, right? And
Right.
so I know that you do really good work in the world too, and it's so important. Thank you for letting me share what helps me build my legacy. But you are really building your legacy here too.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because we know we're all in our own life, and what do we want to leave as a legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Katrina. And so since you've said your final words, and my final word is just, we really need to be kind to each other because that's all we have. So I'm going to end it with that call with that quote and just say thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.